Just looking at this Portmore team, I think they are the best organised team. They play true to their form, they play true to their system, and they really are confident, you know. So it's going to be an uphill task. I know Mount Pleasant will be pressing. If you look at the game last week, there were patches in the game where Mount Pleasant were actually dominating and pressing for, you know, a goal or equalising goal. They kept their shape at Portmore, they kept their form, and they played true to their system, and they created a goal deep in the end of the game.
All right, I've been saying this, I've been talking about it all this season since I've been affiliated with this team, the Schoolboys, and how they're performing. And we go through Casafa Super League, we've been to Red Stripe Premier League, and they show Lamar Walker. We know for Portmore United, Aaron Elliott from Jamaica College, Emilia Rousseau. I believe the best left back for Schoolboy last season. There's a lot to be desired or a lot to be said in terms of that opinion, but he was so effective for St. George's College as a left back. He is there and he is doing his thing. What do you think do you think this is another golden generation for Schoolboys to maybe even salvage something as they progress into the different leagues around the island?
I tell you, no sentiments attached, but Emilia Rousseau is the best left back, I think, in the island at his age. Should have been in the under 23 squad, maybe a part of the national setup.
Right.
He has a wicked left foot cross.
He does.
He uses the ball well. He's strong in the air and he's physically built. And I think this is, you know, this is the view of mine that these players are here, you know, just for us to just keep them together, prepare them properly, and the future will speak for the Reds.
All right, just heading back to what the pre-game show is all about, which is Cavaliers versus Waterhouse. Stanley, if you were the coach, and then I'll throw it to you, if you were Rudolph Speed, what would you tell your players to get them motivated and say, listen, we can go and we can even pull out an upset and get 3 goals to the good at least to go through and try to capture the Red Stripe Premier League trophy?
I would definitely want to shut down the midfield. You know, Kemar did that, in my view, outstanding game at his age. I think Cavaliers didn't do a good job by closing him. Keith Simpson also had a good game. So I definitely want my 2 older midfielders to press up a little bit more and man mark and track. The Cavalier doesn't really man mark and track well in the middle of the park. I want to close those down and allow the centre backs from Waterhouse to handle the ball. Make them play the ball over the top, and my unit will take care of it if I was a coach at Cavaliers.
Wow. What would you say to your troops, Romario?
Well, for Cavaliers?
Yeah.
Well, for Cavaliers to go out there and win, Cavaliers is a direct team, and what we see in the last game, they didn't hold middle of the middle of the park. They didn't have that tension in the middle of the park, and that's where I think that's the engine of any football game. Well, but even though the opponent, which is Waterhouse, see that and said, once we can rule the middle, we can exploit them, because what is it? Cavaliers is a direct team. The players, they are direct, and to have them all over the park, and not to say it hard, well, we are not organized to get this game done. But if I was Rudolph Speed, I would tell them to go to play our game that we know and try to get a goal early in the first half, and then we can shuttle this down.
Well, I think if I was the coach, and hear me out, I would say that your strength is in the middle of the park. Try to control the pace within the middle, because I think that when we were watching the game, the middle of the park was so empty for Cavaliers, and I think the reason for Cavaliers losing was, one, some clear defensive errors. I thought that free kick should have been defended better. I thought that was unfortunate for Cavaliers to concede that goal scored by Tremaine Simpson.
And just to note that when both set plays happen, Kamai Simpson was off the park, which is their main defender now since Jamai Topi has left. They formed a nice combination. Now without both of them in the middle of the park, it's really worrying time for Coach Speed. But one phrase I would use to my players: just be brave. And once they be brave, you know, anything can happen.
Do you think they should go all-out attack and maybe get a goal early to settle things in this match and make it interesting?
Yeah, but still be cautious in the back. You know, sometimes they want to play it from the back, and even when they are being pressed by a Waterhouse team, I'll definitely play safe in the back. You know, there's a saying in Jamaica: "Ball a bush can't score."
Right.
You know, so I want to be really tight in the back, and I'm locked in the midfield. They played two older midfielders. I think in the last game, both were sitting a bit too deep and allowed Cavalier just to dictate. I would ask one to sit and one to play up. So we only played one older midfield.
So which one would you prefer? Ranking to be the holding midfielder?
I prefer Ranking rather than Nelson. Nelson is a little bit more creative. He has more speed going forward. So I ask Rankin to sit and Nelson to be a little bit more proactive in the midfield.
Yeah, I think.
We have a question from Kevin Genius.
Right.
He says that do you think Cavaliers should get another defender since they lost Toby?
I was just about to ask the missing pieces. Nicky O'Daly, a strong player. Played for Clarendon College with a man that is playing later. The man Lamar Walker both won the Da Costa Cup and the All-Ireland title, the Olivier Shield, with Clarendon College. Do you think the missing link between Nicky O'Daly up front and the man Jamoy Tope as their wing back is sort of evident within Cavaliers?
I think Tope is a man that is being missed. Because Nicky O'Daly didn't play most of the game, and even when he played, he came on as a substitute. Jamoy Tope was the man that anchored the back of that team, even although he's younger than Kamoy's sister. He's the man that wins those first ball. He's the man that's dangerous on set play for them. So Jamoy Tope is the man that is missing.
I think so.
I think the mobility within the team, I think that he is missing. And if you can get him into this game, you will see the truth of the old of Cavaliers.
I think overall as a captain, Marsh has to play a pivotal role if they want to be successful. Because as a captain, you know, a man for Chelsea such as John Terry, a man for Man United such as persons like Nemanja Matic or Rio Ferdinand or Steven Gerrard for Liverpool, a leader like that, you need to carry your troops together and maybe go forward and get the win.
I said that last year when I did a broadcast on KLS that Cavalier doesn't really have a leader, and that's my concern. They don't have a mature leader, and that is really my concern. You know, and maybe Messi Marsh has to step up today. You know, be that inspirational leader. I didn't think he had a good game in the last game.
Right.
So that is it. Leadership that shows the way in Cavaliers, and as I said for this a long time, we are yet to see another man like O'Neal Bigger Thompson with leadership role.
Right. A sweeper man like O'Neal Bigger Thompson. Apply straight at Humble Lion. Last time I checked, he was a player coach. Yeah. So we'll get to that. But guys, just remember to send your questions, send your comments. Do you guys think they need a centre back or a wing back to maybe, if they don't get the job done this time around Cavaliers, do you think they need a centre back or a wing back to kind of fix the errors that they had, and it's shown here against Waterhouse?
No, I don't, because if you look at this group, Cavaliers, there's a lot of young players in the wing, right. And Royal Speed have shown more than any other coach that is willing to play the youngsters. They may be a bit immature. Getting to the semi-final last year and getting to the semi-final this is a plus, and it's part of his building process going forward. So next year, if they don't get into the final, next year they will really be mature enough to at least compete for a championship next year.
Yes, Rudolph Speed show more loyalty towards the team. He's like Arsene Wenger in the Red Shark Premier League to say, but the loyalty of a coach to a player, it's like a kid to a dad. He said, well, I can show you. You guys need to be brave. You guys can work under my belt. My leadership to show the way you comfort them, they can do more than what we think.
I'll tell you this, Chris. Having worked at Cavaliers for a year and a half as team manager, Rudolph Speed is an attacking mind coach. He will definitely come out to attack. He's an Arsenal fan, so he believes in total attacking football. So I expect Cavaliers to come out and do well. But I think the 2-0 is really an uphill task. But if an early goal made us set the cat among the pigeon.
Yeah, for real. Just remember, guys, the link will be in the description to go to the website, or you can download our app, Island Sports Network, at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store for the Apple phones as well. We're not leaving you out, guys. We're not going to just have the Androids have all the fun. We're going to have the Apple persons having it as well. So, guys, score predictions.
Before you get to that, we have a couple things.
As well.
Scammer Shepherd says Waterhouse. So give a shout out.
Firehouse Shepherd, big up yourself.
And Cavalier says again that they feel they need to start number 7, and the defender is definitely the problem.
Oh, they need to start Kaim Paris.
He's in the starting lineup.
He's in the starting lineup. That's what I heard. So you don't have to worry about that, Mr. Genius. Kaim Paris scored in one of the matches this season that they won. A very good right-footed volley into the back of the net.
It was actually in a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, it was actually a 2-2 draw.
Right.
How important will he be? He's in the starting lineup now. He wasn't the last game. How important will he be for Cavaliers maybe to get an early goal and try to settle things?
I'm really curious as to where they will start him. If they will start him at that lone centre forward, or they will move him to the flanks. Now, if they move him to the flanks, I think that will really benefit Waterhouse, because Karim Paris doesn't work well without the ball.
Right.
So, but if he starts up front as the lone striker, at least they will have height that he can play some of those balls in, and he can hold the ball. Then he has skill. So, I would definitely love to see where Coach Speed put him, if he's on the flank or I really like him down the middle.
Yeah.
Down the middle, he would be very dangerous. He's a direct player. He get the ball. His mind is on goal. That white frame lady, he needs to get the ball in the back of the net to save his team. It's like his name, Paris, but it will be a pretty walk. That's a dangerous one for Waterhouse.
Well, I don't want to say Paris, people, because let me tell you, that's not a very good name right now. So I would not like to apply that curse on him. But I think what should be done is that you'd have a man like Alex Marshall, central attacking mid, right behind Kaim Paris, and then you'd have Marsh and Hamilton on the wings to work. I think that he would give at least the man Ricardo Thomas, whoever is on the wing with Ricardo Thomas. Ricardo Thomas is a very good wing back. I think he has been one of the unsung heroes for Waterhouse. More persons focus on Tremaine Stewart as the man going up for it. Sometimes even Andre McFarlane and Keith Simpson that came back, but I think the unsung hero is the wing back Ricardo Thomas, who has been very good for them, can track back, and he has some speed that can lap very, very well. Sort of a Marcelo type player, but more defensive.
But for this game, I think Coach Marcel will be a little bit more cautious, because whenever there's a transition in attack and you lose possession high up the park, that gap, if Ricardo Thomas goes up a lot, that gap will open up. Yeah. And Hamilton will really punish that space.
Yeah, for real, because I think that is why I'd put Hamilton and Marsh on the wing, have the man Alex Marshall be the central attacking midfield just behind the striker, and then you would have the man Kaim Paris, the number 7, striking for Cavaliers. That would be an interesting lineup.
And I like to see when they are inverted wingers, meaning you have the left foot on the right side and the right foot on the left side.
Right.
So what it does is it takes away the strong side of the defender, because you will be coming in on his weaker foot to tackle.
So what they will call a dynamic footwork display. That's what they said in Europe. But I think you have these players playing not on their right foot or their left foot roll. It can create more damage.
Alright guys, 5 more minutes left for this live. Remember to send in your questions and your comments. Don't forget to click the link in the description. It will take you to the website islandsports.net, or you can download the application Island Sports Network. Type in the promo code PLAYOFFS, PLAYOFFS, and you get $1 off. Guys, you don't want to miss it. You'll get to view the finals and this semi-final second leg at the National Stadium. The players are out on the field now. I mean, what do you think? Just to give your final comments as we close off in a few minutes. What is the mind of, what do you think is going through the mind of the players, starting with Waterhouse and you, Romario?
Well, Waterhouse, they might be settled, but for me, they should not be settled at the moment, even though they're leading 2. They had a 90 minutes plus added time to play. Once they can go out there, get their A game, and kill and cut the throat of Cavaliers mainly, they will be the better one talking in the final. But for Cavaliers, they need to be settled. They need to play their football game as the way they do, and to exploit Waterhouse at any given time.
As I tell you, before, Chris, the league is true to form. The top 4 is in the semi-final, and I think the top 2 teams will get into the final. I won't predict a score.
Yeah, you won't predict a score. What would be your score for this match?
I won't have a score, but I'll see Cavaliers going through.
Well, Stanley says that Waterhouse will be going through. I'm kind of going on the fence here.
Sad to say.
Sad to say, but I am not going to make a prediction, people. I'm the mediator in this, so I'm not going to make a prediction on who's going to go through. But as I said, I still do have a funny feeling that something is going to happen that will shock a lot of people here today. Well, so somebody is saying that Cavalier is going to win by 2-0 and go to extra time. Well, we spoke to Bent at the press conference and he said that he wants Portmore's head on a plate, so he's going to do whatever it takes to get to the finals and maybe play them and finally get the crown, and got what was almost theirs last year, because last year they went to the finals and they'll be looking to do one better and lift the trophy.
Nobody wants to play Portmore, you know. Nobody wants to play. So I think Bent is just a bit over, a little bit over his head. Portmore is a quality team. Portmore is a defending champion, and I think there's a tunnel vision where Portmore is concerned. So I definitely think Portmore will get into the final and will definitely win the Premier League.
Alright guys, so we're just wrapping up, just to let you know that Portmore, back-to-back champions, they'll be looking to do a 3-peat here in the 2019 Red Stripe Premier League Finals. Thank you so much, Stanley, for joining me as well. It's been a pleasure. And guys, don't forget, the link is in the description. We'll take you to the website islandsports.net, or you can download the application Island Sports Network on the Google Play Store as well as the Apple Store as well. So when we're finished, as we see Stanley leaves, when we're finished, we're going to be back here for the pre-game show for Waterhouse, for Portmore United versus Mount Pleasant. The debutants for the first time in Red Stripe Premier League history has progressed and has gone to the semi-finals. They are not done or out yet, neither is Cavaliers, so we'll not count them out just as yet. I want to thank everybody that has commented and left a question. Don't worry, if we see a question that piques our interest, we'll come back in the pre-game / post-game show and give you a little synopsis and also give you a comment based on what you said. So Romario's here, I'm here, Brandon's here, Geno is here, our cameraman, and we will be sitting and enjoying the game. Don't forget islandsports.net, Island Sports Network, in the App Store, in the Apple Play Store, in the Google Play Store as well for Android users. This is myself, Christopher Scott, Romario da Silva, saying good afternoon and stay tuned for Waterhouse versus Cavaliers.
I think